meatball and polenta casserole. I'm making the meatballs now. I've got a mixture of ground beef, pork, and breadcrumbs, and I'm gonna add a lot of Parmesan cheese, a bunch of chopped parsley. I'm gonna add a couple of eggs, and this helps, along with the breadcrumbs, to bind the meatballs together. Just pour that in. And then quite a bit of minced garlic, which is a must. I'll add just a little bit of salt and pepper. And then it's gonna need just a little bit of milk to make it mix together. And I have found no better tool than my hands for mixing together a meatball mixture. So I am gonna go for it. And I'll just keep mixing until it is one nice homogenized mixture. Okay. This mixture looks fantastic. It's got a lot of bright green parsley in it. So I'm gonna use a scoop, and this will help ensure that the meatballs are all pretty much the same size. All right, that's one. I've got 19 more to roll. I'm rolling along with the freezer casserole. I'm gonna make a sauce right in the pan that I'm gonna bake it in. I just drizzled in some olive oil, and I'm gonna tear some fresh oregano leaves along with some basil leaves. Now, on top of this, I'm gonna sprinkle some more chopped garlic. There's garlic in the meatballs and the sauce. And then I drained a can of diced tomatoes, and I'm just gonna add the tomatoes. They're gonna bake up really rich and wonderful in the oven. I'll add just a little bit of salt and pepper. And then I'm gonna stir it right in the pan. What is the world coming to? Now I've just got to add in the meatballs. I'm going to bake the meatballs and sauce at 425 degrees for 15 minutes, and then I'll move on to the next stage. I've been moving forward with the polenta for the casserole. I've made the basic polenta recipe, so let me tell you where I'm up to. For the polenta base, I added 4 tablespoons of salted butter to a large pot with a thinly sliced onion, 2 minced garlic cloves, a tablespoon of minced fresh oregano, stirred everything together, and cooked it for 5 minutes. Then I added 4 cups of chicken stock, a cup of water, brought it to a boil, whisked in 2 cups of coarse cornmeal, and then cooked the polenta for 20 minutes, stirring it frequently until thickened. It's looking really good, so now I have a few more things to add to make it just over-the-top delicious. Quite a bit of heavy cream. Some people find adding cream to polenta to be a little bit controversial. I'm not one of those people. I think cream makes everything more delicious. I also think whole milk ricotta makes everything more delicious, so I'm adding a good amount of that, along with some Parmesan and salt and pepper. Okay, this looks about as perfect as it possibly can look. So now I'm gonna get those meatballs out of the oven. Already smells so good. Look at how delicious this looks. And if you didn't want to make a casserole out of it, you could just serve these meatballs with the polenta and just have everybody dish it up themselves. So to assemble the casserole, the first thing I've got to do is get all the meatballs and sauce out of the pan. So I am going to use the same pan to assemble the casserole. And I love that because I'll wind up with all the flavor from the meatballs in the bottom of the pan. So all of this heavenly polenta goes in first. And now I'm going to use a slotted spoon to get the meatballs and put them on top of the polenta. I like to sprinkle on some Parmesan, and I'm going to pack up the sauce separately. So while I do this, let me tell you how to freeze, bake, and serve this masterpiece. Freezing first, I'll put the plastic and foil-wrapped casserole into the freezer along with the sauce. Then when it comes to baking, I'll put the unwrapped and thawed casserole in the oven at 425 degrees for 40 minutes. Then serving, I'll pour the heated sauce into a pitcher, take the casserole out of the oven. Where have you been all my life? Sprinkle over grated Parmesan along with chopped parsley. I serve a hearty portion with nothing more than a simple green salad. That's got my name written all over it.